Hey, hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing really well out there, wherever you might be on this Friday night, or whatever weekday it is you're watching this one back. But Fridays are my anchor point here on my channel. That's where you're guaranteed to watch a video with me japping about music. Yeah, but before I start japping about music today, I want to direct a huge thank you to all of my new subscribers I had since I published my last video last week. I had so many new subscribers, so many lovely comments, and I'm just overwhelmed, really. For a small channel like mine, it means so much. And I also heard somewhere that all these comments and all the brilliant etceteras, it's really fun for the YouTube algorithm as well. So I guess he or she is happy, and it's a win-win because we're all happy. No, but on a serious note, I am truly overwhelmed and very thankful for each and every one of you to be part of my musical journey as well here on YouTube. And I'm looking forward to more connections, because this is what it's all about, to connect with people from all around the world with the same passion for music. We may not like the same music all the time, but we still have that in common, the passion for music and record collecting, perhaps. Who knows? Yeah. So that is what it's all about, folks. So a big thank you to all of you. Yeah, it is Friday. Like I said, the gateway into the weekend. And as we do every Friday here, we want to kick things off properly. And that is to direct our attention to Danny from the Kids from Fame when he sings about just that. Friday night.
Friday night's gonna be alright. It's gonna be right. It's gonna be alright now, baby. Friday night.
Yeah, we're off. And the agenda for today, that sounds really serious. Now, the agenda. I'm going to talk about some records that I picked up just recently. And that also includes what I talked about last Friday when it was Record Store Day, Black Friday. Yeah, I picked up 3 records then. And today I'm just going to say a word or two about them because I had some time to listen back to these records. But I also went to another favorite shop of mine here in Reading where I live, and that is the Sound Machine. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I talk quite a lot about the Sound Machine. It is an absolutely lovely place, a bit of my happy place going there, looking through all their vinyl records. They sell mainly used vinyl records, cassettes, CDs and all that as well, of course. But yeah, it is a really great store. So I went over there earlier this week and I picked up some records there as well, because they had a sale going on, and I wasn't really aware when I came over there because I knew that they had a sale a couple of weeks ago, but it was still going on. It was actually the last day, so I picked up quite a lot of records there. So I want to show them to you, say a word or two what I thought about these. And also a brand new track that I discovered this week. I think it was released this week actually, and it's from an artist that I didn't think I would raise an eyebrow to ever, really, to be honest, who has released a track that really blew me away. But I'll save that to the end. But to start out things, I want to do something here that I never done before on my channel, and that is to go through my Spotify Wrapped. Yes, and before you turn things off here, I do put chapter points into my videos, or most of them I try to do that. So if you don't want to hear me talk about Spotify Wrapped, because I know a lot of people are doing that here on YouTube, just skip ahead and we'll go to the section where I talk about the vinyl records that I recently picked up. Yeah. Just want to say that. So before we go into my Spotify Wrapped here, I just want to say that when I use Spotify is mainly, I won't say only, when I'm commuting to and from work. That is when I'm listening to my Spotify playlists and so forth and so on. I never listen to Spotify back home. I never do that. I listen to my records. Yeah. But yeah, going to and from work, that is the Spotify playlists that I'm using. So this Spotify Wrapped, if you don't know, is something that comes at the end of the year. They are summarizing what you've been listening to the most, what your favorite artists are according to them, and so forth and so on. So it's just a really fun summary. So I thought, yeah, why not do it this year? Because I always thought they were a bit quirky and fun. So yeah, please join me. We're going to go through my Spotify Wrapped. Okay, let's see what 2025 was for me listening to Spotify. And disclosure, I already looked at this one before, so I know the results, but I want to share with you guys. So yeah, you listened, we counted, they say. Yeah, so let's see what you counted for me. 10,098 minutes. That's 7 days. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I not only listening to Spotify every morning that I commute to work, but a lot of the time, so it adds up. Tastes like yours can't be defined, but let's try anyway. You listen to 181 genres. How is that possible? I didn't know there was this many genres, but apparently I listen to all 181 genres here on Spotify. So let's see what it was. Okay, so my top genres are dance pop, synth pop, Italo dance, electronic, disco. Yeah, makes sense. That's what I got in my playlist that I usually play going to and from work. So yeah. Age is just a number, so don't take this personally. I was like, the first time I read it, I was like, ooh, what is this? Your listening age is 56. You're into music from the late 80s. Well done. You're an old soul. Yeah, I'm not 56, but I'm not far from it, so I'll take it. You listened to 1,133 songs this year, but can you guess your number one? And I actually could, because I knew which one it should be. Yeah. It was Kylie with Never Too Late. Most of the mornings, not all of them, I started up with this song from my playlist because it's such a great upbeat song to start your day with, really. So, yeah, I knew it was Kylie. From Enjoy Yourself, a great song from Kylie from the 80s. Listen to it 20 times, it says here. It doesn't sound that much. I think I listened more to that one throughout the years, at least to my recollection. But hey, we have to trust Spotify here. It's the data. And here we go. Your top songs: Never Too Late with Kylie, Abracadabra, Lady Gaga, Vertigo with Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and Mind Over Matter with Project K and Magenta Soulstar. Yeah, one of the standout singles this year, in my opinion. And Press with Paul McCartney. Yeah, I came into a bit of a swing there with Paul. Started listening to Press to Play again quite a lot this year. Yeah, we made you a playlist for all your favorites. Yeah. You listened to 35 albums this year. Long live the album. Yeah, makes sense. I listened 200 minutes for Mayhem by Lady Gaga. Great album. And just after it came out, I listened so much to it, even going to and from work as well. So yeah, that makes sense. Should be my top album. And here we go. Top albums. Yeah, Mayhem, Lady Gaga, Elisabeth, the Danish artist. I love Elisabeth's work. And this was Elisabeth. And it's the best of collection, really. Princess of Power with Marina. Love that one. Close of Kim Wilde. And Neon Nights remix by Danny Minogue. Yeah, that was from the big record store day this year when I picked that one up. Great stuff. You stream 500 minutes of podcast. Good chat. Yeah, there's only one podcast really I listen to on Spotify, and that is Hemma hos Strage. It's a Swedish podcast by a Swedish journalist called Fredrik Strage. Really entertaining stuff. He invites mostly Swedish artists and talk about the stories and their legacy and all that. It's great stuff. But when it comes to podcasts, yeah, I listen to quite a lot of other from Audible and things like that. So okay, so here are my favorite artists, and we could see that it was Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Danny Minogue, Lady Gaga, Elisabeth, and Paul. But who claimed the top spot? Okay, let's start the race. Oh, here they're racing. Elizabeth takes... Oh, no! Lady Gaga takes the lead. And, yeah, she's still in the lead there. Yeah. But, Paul, look! Because I streamed Egypt Station so many times. So, Paul takes the top spot. 365 minutes with him. Makes you the 0.5% global fan of Paul. Yeah. Paul McCartney. Yeah, great stuff. An artist that I discovered just in the recent 10 years, really. I started to realize the greatness of Paul McCartney as a solo artist. So, yeah, that makes sense. And here they are again. Paul, Elizabeth, Lady Gaga, Danny Minogue, and Sophie Ellis-Bextor. My top artists, according to Spotify. Yeah, I won't argue with that. That's what I've been listening to on Spotify. For the most part. And now a word from one of your favorites. Woo! I already know what it is, but hey.
Paul McCartney here, and I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone at Spotify for listening to our music this year and all the previous years and coming to our concerts. Really grateful and love seeing you there. It's a very warm feeling and we love it. So from one Spotify user to lots of others, I say thank you very much. And all you Spotty people, it's a wrap.
Yeah, good old Paul, right? Yeah, that was a nice message from Paul to all of us Spotify listeners. All of your listening made part of something bigger. Which club do you belong to? Yeah, this was... I can't remember that one from last year, but perhaps it was there. Yeah. So which club did I belong to? Let's have a look. Ooh, the Sun, what is called Club Serotonin. Your club thrives on good vibes. Members insist on something. Your role specialist, you explore experimental sounds, refining club's sonic boundaries. Well, you wouldn't think that from that listing that we just saw. But yeah, like I said, I've been listening to quite a lot of other artists, of course, but these were the ones that made the top of it all. So yeah, I think that's the last bit of it, really. There are some other things that you can share from these wrapped up as well. Yeah, so 18% of global listeners are in your club, and here we got some recommendations. E-Type, it's actually a Swedish artist that I appreciate more these days than I actually did back in the 90s. Has some really good bangers. Lady Gaga, Kylie, of course, and Danny, her sister. Liz Phair, yeah. Newly found appreciation for Liz Phair as well. And Madonna, of course. She's been with me, one of those permanent fixtures, really, in my musical life. Yeah. So time for a victory lap. And if you're not ready for rap to be over, well... And I think this is it, really. Oh yeah, now there was this sharing thing as well, so you can share with your friends. Look at my list. Top artists and top songs. I won't do that now. We pull some of your files just in case. Okay. What files did you pull? I actually don't remember this one, and I just looked at it 10 minutes ago. Okay, yeah, this is the one. Biggest music listening day on the 30th of January. That was around the time that Kim released the Closer album, so it could be that. Most diverse day in March. Yeah, I don't know, really. Can't remember that far back what I was listening to then, but it was a very diverse day. Repeat heavy day in May. Okay, I wonder what I was repeating there back then. Would really nice to see, but it says get your report here, so I will do that later on, but we won't go through that now. Biggest Paul day, Paul McCartney day, August the 20th. Yeah, don't know what triggered that, but something triggered it. And the next one, please. Biggest podcast listening day on September the 18th. So that not that long ago. But yeah, great to see. And hopefully you enjoyed it somewhat as well. Me sharing my Spotify Wrapped for you all. Okay, so that was my year in music according to Spotify. But now let's focus on the records that I picked up for this last week, really. Starting with Record Store Day last Friday, I did not only pick up the 3 Record Store Day exclusive ones, I also picked a couple of used records from the excellent store Pop Classics here in Reading. And one of them was this one, Voice of Space. Didn't pick it necessarily out of the beauty of the cover here. No, it was the title, Voice of Space, and more specifically 40-minute hot new space disco. Yeah, so this was hot new space disco in 1982 when this one was released. And as I said in my last episode, disco was still thriving here in Europe. I think it was really ABBA who kicked things off in the late 70s with a Euro disco, as they labeled it, and then it just transformed from there and into the 80s, mainly from Italy with Italo disco and all the other different offshoots. This one didn't give me much information when it comes to the cover at all. It looks the same on both sides, but if you pull the record out itself, you can see it is Space Records. That is the record label on this one. And it also says for DJ only, promotional copy, limited 33 edition. And the first side of this one, the A side of this, is a space medley. Nearly 19 minutes long. And let me tell you, this is hard-hitting space disco. It is so good, so funky, and I haven't heard any of these tracks before, because there are 3 tracks that they merged together in this medley. And the first one is Disco Takes Me Higher, We Like You. Yeah, that's actually the title. We Like You. Yeah, and then Music Drives Me Crazy. What an A-side. It's absolutely fabulous. And then on the B-side, we have 3 different tracks. These are not mixed. There's just separate tracks. Do you have the force? No question mark. Do you have a force? They just, yeah. Blackout is the second one. And then we have Delta 1. And you can tell it's DJ oriented record. I don't know if you can see it, but there are actually BPM indications after each track here, so you know what beats per minute they were going at. But yeah, I was really fascinated by this one, so I tried to find out some more about Space Records. There was a couple of comments on Discogs around this, and apparently they came out of a shop in Rotterdam in Holland or the Netherlands. And I think the guy name was Eric, who bought. They said he bought music from Italy and pressed them on records on his own label, Space Records, and they became popular. But the only way you can actually get these, at least from those comments that were made on Discogs, was to go into this shop in Rotterdam in the Netherlands and buy these. And there should be more. I'm looking forward to hunt down some more of these Space Records, because this one is such a great space disco record for sure. So I think I will have an excuse to talk more about some other editions of Voice of Space, or whatever they're called. The other ones are in their catalogue. The other record, the other disco record that I laid my hands on last Friday was this one. Yeah, Disco Clone. Once again, I was lured in by the title, and perhaps this very stylish woman on the cover, which I believe is Cristina. Yeah, so this is Cristina with the absolutely fabulous title of a song, Disco Clone. I couldn't resist. I mean, you can't go wrong with a song like that, right? I put this one on Saturday, the day after, and I cranked up the volume because I was expecting some really funky disco. And funky disco I got. It's really groovy and funky. I loved it. But then the moaning started. And I ran over to my my amplifier here, turned down the volume straight away. I'm not a prude at all, but we are talking heavy breathing, heavy moaning here. God knows what my neighbors think of me nowadays, but that was embarrassingly loud. This, if you had ratings on records, this would be an X rating straight away, or NC-17 or whatever they used in the US. Absolutely horrendous moaning throughout the whole mix, and it's a pretty long mix. And they totally ruined this track by doing just that, because it's not sexy at all. I mean, it's just... You might as well watch a certain kind of movie instead, because this won't give you anything at all in that area. I mean, for God's sake. Cristina, Disco Clone. That was the disco mix of this one. And I was like, no. I was devastated. The moaning. Oh, my goodness. Well, I turned it over and kept the volume really, really low. But to my delight, these the B-side consists of 2 tracks. So it says Disco Clone and Clone Instrumental. So it's like, yeah, at least the instrumental should be safe, right? But both tracks are safe. What they did on the B-side is that they merged both tracks, so they're not separated. They just merged together as one big track. And I'm really thankful for that, because it retains that groove from the disco mix on the A side and the funk of it. And it's so great. Interjected from time to time with the not so beautiful singing voice of Cristina. She really wasn't a singer, but it's very sparse, so you can really enjoy this funky, groovy disco tune on the B-side. But the A-side of this one, like I said, oh my goodness, I can't imagine any disco back in the late 70s. This came out in 1978. Who would actually play this on the dance floor? It would be embarrassing. I think perhaps the only place you might play something like that would be, I don't know, Plato's Retreat in New York at the time. Yeah, perhaps. But yeah, that was Cristina Disco Clone. I don't regret buying it, but I do regret turning up the volume before I actually heard it. But who knew? Another record that I picked up, once again here, we go to Sound Machine. It's this one, yeah. It's called Mist on the Ridge, a mini album. Yeah, the reason I picked this one up is because, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some embossed letters or lettering up here. Basically it says New Age. And I recognize that one. And when I turned it over, there are some more embossed lettering. I don't know if you can see it. It says Landscape Series, and that rang a bell straight away, because I got another album from the Landscape Series back in the 1980s, and I do believe I talked about it here on my channel in an early episode I did. It was an album by Claire Hamill. She is utilizing her voice through samplers, through different microphones and effects, and she builds every song on that album from just her voice. And I always loved that album, and I got it here still in my collection. But I never seen anything else from that label called Landscape. So that's why I picked it up. Yeah, because this is a mini album, and it does have one of the songs from Claire Hamill, as we can see down here. But it also has another track from Rick Wakeman as well. He plays the piano beautifully, of course, on that track. And then we have some other artists here as well that I never heard of before. So we got John Themis. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful song. English Renaissance, it's called. And we also have some contribution from Dashiell Rae and Eddie Hardin as well. I'm not familiar with any of these names, except, of course, for Rick Wakeman and Claire Hamill, but it's an absolutely stunning, stunning record. It does deliver what it says on the front here, new age. Yeah, it's what we call a new age music. And but it's so beautifully done, and you put it on, you can just sit down and relax and listen to it, or if you want to solve a crossword or lay a puzzle or anything, this is the perfect music for that. Absolutely stunning stuff. Yeah, so great stuff to get hold of that one. And while I was at the sound machine, I also picked up 2 records by Janet Jackson. Yes, I am a fan of Janet, and this is from the album Janet. Yeah, but this is not the album. It's a 12-inch single for That's the Way Love Goes. Yeah, I'm not going to sing anymore. Yeah, so really great mixes here. It's CJ McIntosh, British DJ producer, man of many talents, who remixed these tracks, except for the album version and I believe the a cappella one that's on here. But the rest of the mixes comes from Mr. McIntosh, and I always loved CJ McIntosh remixes. He dabbled in deep house at the time in the 1990s. And he gives us some really good deep house remixes here of Janet Jackson's That's the Way Love Goes. Great stuff. I haven't had this one ever in my record collection. I bought the album at the time, but never any 12 inches from the Janet album. Yeah. And this one was a bit peculiar, by the way, because usually for a 12-inch, the opening is up here or on this side. But on this, it's on the opposite one. So it's a bit of a weird one, this one. They made it different. But hey, yeah. Just wanted to point that out. It's not really important. The other Janet that I got hold of is from the same album, and it's the track If. And I have to say that I didn't know that this one was issued as a single at the time. Like I said, I only picked up the album. I loved the album, still do. I think it's a great album by Janet. But If, as a single, I can't remember at all that they released that one. But here we go. Some good remixes here from Brothers in Rhythm. And a couple of... I think Brothers in Rhythm... is responsible for most of these. I think there's one mix called the D&D 12 mix that is not Brothers in Rhythm, but otherwise, yeah, another UK outfit that did brilliant work in the 1990s when it came to remixes. And yeah, this is Janet on a silver label. Yeah, really good stuff. And it came with polylined inner as well. I'm not sure the original one did that, but whoever owned this one probably took really care of the records. And I'm sure the other one that I just showed you here, That's the Way Love Goes, was from the same collection. Really well taken care of. They are like brand new, really nice copies of this one. So If by Janet Jackson, really good pick up as well. And that leads us to, let's go with this one. This was the other used record that I picked up from Pop Classic, last Friday, and that is George Harrison, of course, Somewhere in England. An excellent album that I've been listening quite a lot to on Spotify, actually. Yeah, it wasn't there on my Spotify Wrapped, but I listened quite a lot on it, actually. And then I found this copy, and I was like, it's a really nice copy. It's very well taken care of, and the vinyl itself looks really good on this one. And it still has the original inner that came with it. And I don't know if you really can see, it's really redundant to show this one, but hey, here you go. It's a really nice, clean copy of this one. Love it. Somewhere in England. It's got some really good tunes on it. And the one that stuck with me the first time I listened to this one was all those years ago, of course. Can we call it the big hit from this one? It still blows me away. It's very Beatlesque, of course, if I may say so, of George Harrison. Okay, now let's go through the RSD releases I picked up last Friday. And let's kick things off with Nico live at the Reims Cathedral on 13th of December, I believe it was. Yeah, it was 1974. This is not the greatest recording on earth when it comes to live recordings. I do believe it's someone standing in the crowd with a simple cassette recorder on that evening in 1974 and was recording the whole thing. I might be wrong. It could be someone with a reel-to-reel, but I doubt it. I think it was just a simple cassette recorder, really. So the sound quality is not the best. You're going to get a lot of noise on this recording, a lot of people bumping into the microphone of this cassette recorder. You can hear that from time to time. But there's something magical about this one. And I got this one on digital files or MP3s. Way back in time here. I think it's the early 2000s we're talking about, or late 90s even. I can't remember. But I got this concert on an MP3. It was just one file, really, with all the songs on it. And I was mesmerized by this. And I think what's really mesmerizes me with this one is the history around this. This was back in 1974. It was Nico as kind of a warm-up act to Tangerine Dream in this cathedral. And she was there alone on the stage with her harmonium and her voice, her beautiful yet haunting voice on the stage. And the echo of this cathedral, because however crappy this recording is, you can still hear the echoes of this cathedral. And it's just a bit of history, really, in that recording. And I think that's what really always grabbed me with this recording. So yeah, I lived with that recording for years and years now, and I know it's been released on CDs from time to time, and you had some other vinyl pressings as well of it. But every time I had a sneak preview of those, I wasn't really like, well, they haven't improved anything here, so I might as well keep my MP3 here, because they haven't done anything to clean up the recording, to my ears at least. But this year, the record company around this, the Culture Factory, or INA, I don't really know, they promised, at least in the press blurb on the Record Store Day site, they said they cleaned it up with the help of AI. Yeah, everything can be fixed nowadays with AI. Well, we know it can be fixed really well when it comes to noise reduction and clarity in some recordings. You can use AI for that. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And there was no way for me to listen to this one before. So I was like, yeah, what the hell? I've been waiting all these years for a real physical copy of this one, so I will go for it. So that's why I picked it up. And I am glad to say it sounds way better than my crappy copy of it. They reduced the noise, but still managed to retain that echoing that we heard in the cathedral at the time. It's not like you're there. It's not that kind of clarity I'm talking about. But they still did manage to do a really good job cleaning it up, I have to say. And as you saw, it came with this OB. It's just saying what a great record it is, really, track listing. And without the OB, this is what it looks like. I like this cover. I think they did a splendid job of it. And it also comes with a printed inner bag as well. So there we go, the track listing, very minimal. And over here, some blurb about the concert itself, when Tangerine Dream were performing, and then Nico, of course, as well. So some people reminiscing around this, they I think they collected quotes really from people that were there at the day. What I'm really missing from this one, it doesn't say anywhere here at all or on the sleeve itself that this has been enhanced in any way, shape or form. So I'm not sure if AI was involved or not. I just have to take that from the press blurb really. But it doesn't state here anywhere. But they have done something with it because it does sound better than it did before. It's still not a really good recording because you can't really make it that great because it wasn't in the first place. Yeah, you know what I mean. I will stop blabbering now and show you the vinyl record itself. It comes on beautiful magenta transparent vinyl, and it's a really, really nice pressing, this one. It sounds really good. You will get the odd pops and clicks here and there, but I always clean my records after I buy them, new or old records. And after the first playthrough, the pops and clicks usually go away. And I'm not talking about a lot of pops and clicks here, but the odd ones were here. But there's a lot of silences here as well on this record, so you do tend to hear a lot of those static clicks here and there on a recording like that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. The only thing was when I opened this one, and I'm not really sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Can you see that mark on the vinyl, that white mark? And it was like that when I pulled it out, and I was like, no kidding. And I usually feel with the finger over it just to see if I could feel anything, and I couldn't. I was like, oh, hopefully. So I just put it on my turntable and cranked it up, and there was nothing. So I think this is from the coloring they used for the vinyl. Something leaked through or something. But at first I was like, you're kidding. I already got a scratch from it and I haven't stopped playing it yet. But yeah, no, it sounds really good. It does. So I'm very happy with that one. And I said I was just going to say a word or two about each and every one of these. And I'm just japping and japping and japping. Let's go to this one. This is Icona Pop, the Swedish duo, teamed up with Charlie XCX at the time with an iconic, pun intended, track, I Love It. Yeah, and I do love this one. I put the previously translation PVC sleeve. So what I did, I put a cardboard piece here in between the PVC outer sleeve, and then on the other side I put the record itself in an anti-static in a bag, or polylined in a bag as well. And that's usually what I do when it comes to picture disc. That usually comes in PVC sleeves or whatever it might be. In this case, it's not a picture disc, it's a glow-in-the-dark record. And it looks absolutely fantastic, of course, on your turntable in the dark.
I don't care. I love it.
When I first picked this one up last Friday, I reacted a bit to the price, because in my mind this was just a simple 12-inch single, right? Because on the hype sticker they don't really state what mixes are on there. Well, they do say we got the Tiesto remix, Cobra Starship, and many more. How many more? I didn't know, but I love this track, so I bought it. I know a lot of RSD records are overpriced, but I don't regret this at all. It turns out it's classified as an EP, but it's actually 10 tracks on this one. A lot of playtime, a lot of remixes as well. So on the cusp of an LP, in my opinion at least. So we do get a lot of remixes on this one. The original, it kicks off the whole thing. It's my favorite for sure. It's the one that I remember. And then we get the Tiesto remix, as I mentioned. It's not one of my favorites, really. It's from that time, you know, when the DJ was lifted up to be some kind of a god or superstar, really. Think Swedish House Mafia and all of that. Never really gelled with me, that sound. It's not awful or anything like that, but still not one of my favorites. But there are others. I'm not going to mention them all, but Sick Individuals Club Edit, I really love that one, and Style of the Eye remix on the B-side as well. Solid stuff, and it's a great track in its original, so you can't really go wrong with anything here. So yeah, great pickup. I love it. Icona Pop, and apparently featuring Charlie XCX among those voices. It's a really, in-your-face electro-pop record. It gives me, at least, a lot of energy every time I listen to it. And then I picked up this one. Yeah, it's a picture disc, and it's Devo, Marry Something to You. And we can't really classify this as a Christmas record per se, because if you listen to the message of it, it doesn't really matter where you come from or what you celebrate at this time of year. It's a Marry Something to You. It's got some really nice lyrics to it, and it's just under 2 minutes, the original. So I think it's got that punk aesthetic to it. You think Ramones, just churn out a tune. It shouldn't be over 2 minutes at all, with just 200 miles an hour. Exactly what this one does as well, and I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. And a very nice picture disc as well. You can see the Cyclope Santa there in 2 different colorings, and it's Mark, the singer from Devo, who made this Santa, or the drawing of it, and you can see more of his drawings in the video that you can watch here on YouTube. It's a really great one. And this one, just like the Icona Pop one, came in a PVC sleeve, so I did exactly the same with this one. Yeah, just to protect it. And when it comes to the track listing, I can't read it here, so I have to read from the hype sticker. It kicks off with the original one, and I think I said in the last episode it was only released digitally, but it was actually part of a collection as well, or compilation, sorry, that also came out at the time. Was this in 2000? I think 2010 it says here. I think I said 2009 in my last video, but it doesn't matter. It was part of a compilation as well, but it's the only way you could actually get hold of it before is to buy that compilation. I think it was released on vinyl only, if I'm not mistaken. But now you can own it on a picture disc, and not only the original version, you also get an instrumental version of this one. And to my delight, it was a bit different. They just hadn't stripped the voice of Mark on that one. They added some bits into it as well, so it was a bit different than the original one, which I really appreciate. And then when we flip it over to the green side, we do have I would say a version of it called the Easy Listening with Neutro. It's got some spoken words over it, just to clarify some of the points that are raised throughout the lyrics of this very short song, and it's further clarified in this one. I love the message of this one overall. And then it's rounded off with the reversed version of Marry Something to You. And just like I speculated in my last episode, or my last video, it's just the track reversed. Yeah, so great stuff. I don't regret this at all. It's an absolutely fantastic record to have in your collection, and it looks really good. But the sound of it is a picture disc after all, and I know that going into it, it won't sound as good as a normal vinyl record, really. I have a lot of picture discs here in my collection, so I'm well aware of it. Some of the newer picture discs that I got over the years actually sounds very good. One good example is Danny Minogue's Neon Nights, that was released a couple of years ago. I bought that on a picture disc as well, that album. And it sounds really good. Hardly any surface noise at all, and so forth and so on. But this one, my goodness, it's got a lot of surface noise on it. So once you put the needle on this one, you will hear it straight away. But thankfully, once the song starts, it basically drowns out that surface noise. Well, at least to me. You could still hear it if you were actually listening for it. But I'm here for the music. But I knew that going into it, like I said. So just be aware if you're going to pick this one up. It does have quite a lot of surface noise to it. But it's not too bad when the music starts. Yeah, that's all in my opinion, of course. Yeah, so that was Devo, Marry Something to You. Yeah, but that's it. That's what I picked up. It became a really lengthy episode. But before I leave you, I said that I just discovered a track this week that really blew me away, and very unexpectedly so. This is from Flea, the bassist in Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I really don't have anything against Red Hot Chili Peppers. I listened to them back in the 90s when they broke through, really. And I enjoyed a song or two with them, but I never really bought an album with them or anything like that. And Flea, as a bassist, he was really the standout character from that band, always doing some wacky stuff. So that's why I'm aware of who Flea really is. Anyhow, so I scrolled through YouTube the other day, and there was a new music video that passed me by, and it just caught my eye for some reason. I was like, okay, what is this? And it said Flea, a plea. So it's called A Plea, the song. I was like, oh, that's Flea. That's a bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a listen. I'm always curious. And I couldn't take my eyes and ears off this one at all. At first it starts out, with his bass riffs. So that's Flea playing his bass. And I was like, what is this going to lead to? Can he even sing? That was my first thought. Then it goes into this really jazzy stuff, funky stuff. I was thinking to myself, this sounds like acid jazz almost, but just almost. But it was like, and I'm not really a jazz guy. I do appreciate some jazz from time to time. I think I might have 1 or 2 jazz records on CD, but that's it. But this was so good. I was hypnotized by the sound, by the video, all of it. I was like, where can I get this? Yeah, so I looked it up, and it turns out he recorded a whole album, and it looks like he already wrapped that, and it's going to come out in early 2026. If that track is anything to go by, and I was blown away by that one, A Plea, it's called. If that is anything to go by what's on the rest of the album, it's going to be a standout album. I don't know what it was with that, but I was blown away. So yeah, in my opinion, in my book, this is the single of the week and one of the great singles of this year. Yeah, for sure. Wow. So I just wanted to ask you guys who are watching this, have you also heard this one? And were you as blown away that I was? I was, like I said, I was hypnotized. I think by the combination of the great video and the song itself. But then, before I was going to sleep last night, I put on the video again, but I wasn't watching the video. I was just listening to it on my headphones. And I was there again. I was just... I don't know where I went to some other dimension, really. It has that effect on me. Wow. Really, really good stuff. I've been japping for too long, and now it's up to you guys. Like I said, have you heard the new Flea single? Put it down in the comments. I would love to hear your comments about that. And also, if you picked up any records that you think people should hear about, also down in the comments. All things music, really, down in the comments. I would love to connect with you all. And I will be back with something music related next Friday. That is a promise. But until then, a big thank you to all of you, and especially my subscribers here. Like I said, you're near and dear to me. You stay cool, you keep playing that music, and as usual, I will give you a very heartfelt Swedish adieu to you all. Now, Danny, take it away.
Movie rolls on, there ain't no more love scenes, the romance is gone. But it's a one-man show, it's moving real slow, but it's picking up speed as I'm turning the key. Coming up, coming up, coming up.